Hello, and welcome back to Spaces or Laces. I'm your host, Jeff Meyer. We haven't had a podcast in a few weeks due to my work schedule, holidays, and my trip to Hawaii with a few of the Southbound Sports members. First, I want to talk about that. If you ever had the chance, fortunate enough to go to Hawaii, do it. It's amazing. The weather, phenomenal. Great time. We went on a lot of hikes, did a little, fitness, little exercise when we were there. A lot of, trips to the beach. Great vacation. I recommend it to anyone. Honestly, probably the best vacation I've been on in my life, and the scenery was amazing. I felt like the entire time I was in a movie. Got to see, where some TV shows and movies were actually filmed. Got to see where Jurassic Park was filmed. Got to see where the TV show Lost was filmed. It was a great time. My friends lived there for like 6 months now, so he showed us a lot of the local places that usually tourists don't get to see or experience, which was a great opportunity, and it was a lot of fun. But some of those hikes, they were something else. I think the one we did that I will never forget from my entire life was a hike up Cocoa Head, I believe Cocoa Head Trail, something like that. It's near Diamond Head, and it's a 1,000-foot hike, essentially straight uphill, where it's like this old wooden like railroad thing. It was unbelievable. I was gassed. I was dead. It was a real eye opener to the current fitness state I'm in, which is unfortunate, but it was a lot of fun, and I recommend that going to Hawaii to anyone that has the ability to go. Great vacation. But getting back to more of the Spaces, Laces, football and sports talk, I'm going to light them up today. Starting off, there's 3 things I want to talk on the light them up segment. First, Eli Manning. I'm blown away how bad the Giants have handled this whole situation. As a football fan, I've watched Eli Manning now since 2004. He has 2 Super Bowl wins. Let's just start there. He has 2 Super Bowl wins. There's not many quarterbacks in that time frame as 2 Super Bowl wins. To name a few: Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. So it's a very, very select few, and he's up there, with some of the best quarterbacks in the game over that time span. 210 consecutive starts for the Giants since 2004, since his rookie season. The only person in NFL history to have more consecutive starts at quarterback was Hall of Famer Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers. And unfortunately, Brett Favre didn't end his career in Green Bay. He went to a couple other teams. But Eli Manning has been with the, New York Giants for his entire career, every start as a Giant. And it looks like this weekend that streak is coming to an end against the Los Angeles Raiders. Or the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't even know what the Raiders are anymore, but they're still Oakland. My fault. I'm retarded. But the Oakland Raiders, who are an 8.5-point favorite at home. So this weekend, Eli Manning is going to get sat down and replaced with Geno Smith. Yes, you heard me correct. Geno Smith. Geno Smith is going to be quarterbacking the New York Giants this weekend instead of Eli Manning. I think it's Ben McAdoo is the coach of the Giants. I always forget his name as he's irrelevant to me. I think he's a Pittsburgh guy, but it doesn't matter. He's done a piss poor job coaching this team since he's, got the reins of the team, the head coaching position. I just don't understand it. Like, if you're planning for the future and you think you're going to move Eli Manning or you're going to want to ask him to retire or whatever you're going to do with Eli Manning, they fumbled this whole situation. It's awful. Honestly, awful. Eli Manning did a press conference today. It looked like he was crying. It looked like he was going to cry as a grown-ass man. Like, they handled this in the absolute worst way humanly possible. Like, I understand what they want to do. They want to evaluate their other quarterbacks, but this is not the way you do it. They did it awful. Basically, what you do is you come out and say, hey, we're sitting Eli Manning down the rest of the year. We're considering this year a watch. We're going to shutting them down. We're going to evaluate the other quarterbacks and see what we're going to do next year, whether we're going to, proceed with Eli Manning or we're going to try to move him. They didn't do this. They're like, oh, well, Eli, you're going to start half the game, but we're definitely going to put Geno Smith in and evaluate him. Dude, if I was Eli Manning, I would take that as the biggest slap in the fucking face there is. He's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame quarterback with 2 Super Bowl wins, and you get disrespected like that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tom Coughlin is probably shocked and amazed in disbelief what the Giants are doing right now. He's down in Jacksonville just laughing at this whole situation. He's just shocked, laughing. He's got that awkward grin going on, laughing, doesn't know what to do or what to say. Eli Manning, I don't know. He looked more sad. I would be furious. I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. Geno Smith is not a good quarterback. Honest, it makes no sense. Sorry, I'm rambling about this, but the whole moral story is Eli Manning is getting sat down. His 210 consecutive starts in the NFL is going to end this weekend by Geno Smith replacing him. Eli Manning was taking snaps on the scout team this week with Davis Webb. I had to look twice at the names. I don't know who the hell that is. Well, he's a rookie. Eli Manning is taking reps with a rookie. And Geno Smith is manning the ship for the Giants. I thought it was interesting. Phillip Rivers mentioned, he literally flat out said, this is pathetic. This is really pathetic. The whole 2004 thing where Phillip Rivers was supposed to go to the Giants and then they, essentially flipped the script. Phillip Rivers went to the Chargers and Eli Manning ended up going to the Giants. But Phillip Rivers, hell of a quarterback, doesn't have any Super Bowl rings. That 2004 quarterback class has 4 rings. Ben Roethlisberger has 2. Eli Manning has 2. They have 4 total between those 3 great quarterbacks. I'm really curious to see if Ben has anything publicly to say about it, because it seems like a lot of former Giants players and people around the NFL are stating, making comments about this situation, which is unbelievable. The Giants, they're in the shitter, 2-9. But going on to my other team on a roast, the Dallas Cowboys. Man, after last season, all the promise, Dak Prescott and everything, they're in the shitter too. Pretty sure they're 5-6 playing the Redskins tonight, who are also 5-6. I'm taking the Redskins. I'm taking the Redskins at the Cowboys -2. I just not a believer in the Cowboys anymore. Zeke suspended. See, it's funny because a lot of football guys are, and people on social media are just blaming this whole situation on Zeke being suspended. Yes, that hurts. No doubt about it. What also hurt was Sean Lee getting hurt and Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith, who's probably arguably the best left tackle in football. Yes, I think it's Sean Taylor. Wow. Sean Lee, the linebacker, for the Cowboys is one of the best in football. But since I did mention Sean Taylor, rest in peace, Sean Taylor. It's been 10 years since he was horrifically and unjustly murdered a couple days ago. It's awful. He was lighting the NFL on fire. It's weird, though, because I was thinking about this with Sean Taylor. I don't know if he could play in the NFL today with all the rules. He was a hard-hitting, brutal, physical safety in the NFL, and he was fun to watch when I was growing up. He was a hell of a player, straight out of the U. Then the NFL lighting it on fire. And I'll never forget the time where he decapitated a punter in the Pro Bowl. One of the funniest shit. You guys got to check that out on YouTube or on Twitter somewhere. He literally murdered a punter in the Pro Bowl. Hilarious. But Sean Taylor, rest in peace. Great player. But talking about Sean Lee and the Cowboys are falling apart. They're not going to win a division. Eagles are running away with it. And got to light them up. Jerry Jones, I hate you. Horrible. You got him and the ginger quarterback, the quarterback, the ginger head coach. Dak, I think Dak's doing okay. I don't want everyone to blame Dak. Dak's playing fine, in my opinion. I've watched him. He's made some bad throws in recent games. It's gonna happen. It's only his second year in the NFL, but I think as a whole, still playing pretty well. But I think the NFC East is now the Eagles to lose, fuck up, do whatever they want with that division. But also finally lighting up. I'm gonna wrap this segment up. LaVar Ball, literally. Do not know why he has a pedestal and a voice right now in society. Somehow I'm talking about him right now. I shouldn't be talking about him. His name should be never brought up. Big baller brand, all his fucking bullshit. The Lakers, I don't know how the Lakers, shame on the Lakers. I want to light them up with ESPN. Shame on the Lakers. Shame on ESPN just trying to get views. ESPN's in the shitter, laying more people off again. Why is he important? I literally saw the fact that he said his son is as good as Steph Curry or better or whatever he just said after the overtime loss, I think the last night or night before. He's like, oh, Lonzo's better than Steph Curry. Yeah, I don't care if he's a 10-time MVP. My boy's better. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Why are we letting some moron go on national TV, go on CNN, talking to Donald Trump and doing all this stupid shit. One of his sons is over in China for him and UCLA basketball players stealing shit in China and going to jail. We put him on fucking CNN. Dude, we gotta quit making stupid people famous in America. We're really good at that. Giving people who aren't very smart, don't have high IQs, don't have any, they're not bringing much to the table, essentially. We're giving them voices and we're making them put them up on a pedestal. And it's laughable. It's a joke. It's awful. It's making this country look awful. LaVar Ball, go the fuck away. Please. Go away. But I think that, wraps up the Light 'em Up segment. Eli Manning shouldn't be benched. Your team's horrible. Half the team's hurt. Your superstar is hurt. What are you going to do? I think he's been playing pretty damn well considering situations. I feel bad for Eli Manning. I've never been a big fan ever since, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless in 2011, I guess it would have been 2012 at that point, because technically when they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots would have been the 2012 year, the 2012 Super Bowl, 2011 season. By the way, for non-sports fans, that has to be the most confusing thing when they talk about seasons and Super Bowls, because they're in 2 different years. I mean, I guess that's with all sports, or most sports, but very confusing. But let's say after he won the 2012 Super Bowl against the Patriots, everyone, including those 2 dumbasses, were going out and saying Eli Manning was better than Peyton Manning. And I could say this with a lot of confidence in the last couple of years. People are eating a lot of crow, and they're retracting those statements, because Eli Manning is not Peyton Manning. Doesn't matter, he has 2 Super Bowl wins. He is not Peyton Manning. But I still feel bad for him. I feel bad for the Cowboys. I feel bad for Dak Prescott. Other than that, I hate Cowboy fans. I hate the Cowboys. I hate Jerry Jones. But I actually really like Dak. Seems like a good guy. I think he's a really solid quarterback. I feel bad for him in this situation, because everyone likes to talk about the Cowboys and everyone likes to shit on them when they're doing bad. So I feel bad for him. And then LaVar Ball, go away. Lakers, shame on you. ESPN, shame on you. But, all right, we're done with that. I had enough of that bullshit. I'm going to quickly flip to college basketball to talk shit on my Pitt Panthers. It's the only team I'm going to talk about right now. They are playing Duquesne tonight in the city game. Every year, Pitt and Duquesne, I'm pretty sure it's every year. I know, especially in college, I went to a couple of them. They have the city game. Pitt plays Duquesne either at the Palumbo Center, that's the name, Duquesne's basketball court, or at the Peterson, which is Pitt's arena. But Pitt right now is 3-4, Duquesne's 2-2, and Pitt already lost to Penn State this year, which I don't know how the fuck that ever happens in basketball, because Pitt's, I hate to say it, for the last 15 years have been a basketball school. The new coach is running Pitt into the ground. They're no longer a basketball school. I guess they're a football school now again. Oh, man, it's tough to talk about. I don't know what's going on. Pitt basketball is a disgrace. And if they don't flip the script and change things around immediately, they're going to be a laughing stock of the ACC. It's awful. It's piss poor. Hopefully they win tonight, get the 4-4, and hopefully they go on a run here, because they've been playing really bad. Which really sucks, is, being a former, Pitt alum, it sucks, bad for business. Now I want to talk about the college football rankings, flipping from basketball to football. It's been a weird year. A lot of upset. I guess that's college football in a nutshell. They're not professional. There's a lot of upsets, a lot of uncertainty, but it's been rough. Most of the year being a Pitt fan, it's been rough, but, over Thanksgiving, we had a great win against number 2 Miami, which really shaked up the college football rankings, and then Alabama loses to Auburn. So we have a lot of things that, got shaken up a little bit. But the current rankings, as they are now, are Clemson 1, Auburn 2, Oklahoma 3, and Wisconsin 4. Wisconsin is undefeated. That's important to note. And Auburn is 10-2. I don't think this is how it's going to pan out. So this weekend in conference championships, Oklahoma's playing TCU. Number 3, Oklahoma's playing number 11, TCU. Number 2, Auburn is playing number 6, Georgia. Number 1, Clemson is playing number 7, Miami. Number 4, Wisconsin is playing number 8, Ohio State. So I'm going to give my Final Four based on, where everything's at the moment. So I have Clemson beating Miami, taking the number 1 spot in the college football playoffs. I'm going to write this down. These are my predictions. Clemson, number 1. 2, I'm taking Oklahoma. Oklahoma is going to beat TCU this weekend. I think those are the two no-brainers. Those are the two shoe-ins. And now, this is where it's going to get interesting. Because I think Georgia's going to beat Auburn. I think Georgia's going to knock them off. Now, Georgia's only got one loss, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure. Let me check real quick. Because this is really important here to my idea. Or what I think is going to happen. This is very important to my prediction. Yeah, Georgia's 11-1. All right. So Georgia is going to beat Auburn, which is going to put them, in my opinion, at the number 3 spot in the country. After a big win against Auburn. Now, here's the linchpin game, which I don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but I'm going to make my prediction anyway. Wisconsin versus Oklahoma. Or, excuse me. Wisconsin versus OSU, Ohio State. Wisconsin wins, they're in. They're undefeated. It's going to shake everything up. Honestly, if Wisconsin beats OSU handily, they're probably going to jump the whole way to number 1. But I already gave you my top 3 picks. So, as you can see, I don't think they're going to win. I think OSU is going to win. So, Wisconsin losing to Ohio State puts them at 12-1. Since Wisconsin, I think, is going to lose this game, I think, it's crazy to say, I think Alabama is going to flip-flop and jump into the number 4 spot in the country. I think this is going to piss a lot of people off, but this college football has an SEC bias. So I think Alabama is going to jump in at number 4. So that would be Clemson versus Alabama, which is a previous national championship rematch. And then Oklahoma versus Georgia in the other game. I don't know. That's how I see it playing out. I just don't think Wisconsin's that good. I mean, they're 12-0, but they're on the easy side of the Big Ten. They didn't play Ohio State. They didn't play Michigan. They didn't play Michigan State. They didn't play Penn State. They didn't play Iowa. I might be wrong on that one. But I know the other ones is true. They didn't play them. So I'm having Clemson number 1, Oklahoma 2, Georgia 3, and Alabama 4. That's my final 4 in college football. I don't want to see Alabama in it because if Alabama gets in it, they're probably going to win it all again. Every time Alabama gets a chance with Nick Saban as the head coach, they have a chance of winning it all. And it sucks. And I hate the SEC bias, but I think it's going to happen. Honestly, for college football, I hope Wisconsin wins. So Wisconsin wins, they're in. But if Wisconsin wins, they're in, then it's, then there's a different debate. Is it Georgia or Alabama? Because they both will have one loss at that point. So I don't know. I think Georgia, though, being a conference champion, Georgia wins, they're in. That's the nice thing about being the conference championships. You essentially win, you're in. So a lot of these teams, at this point, control their own destiny. Because if all 4 win, it's going to be Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, Wisconsin in the Final 4. I just don't see it shaking out that way. I don't see all 4 winning. But that's my opinion, and we'll see how it plays out. Now I want to talk quickly on the NFL. Talking about the Hawaii trip, I got this sweet TJ Watt jersey in Hawaii. It's crazy. A lot of Steelers fans in Hawaii. Was it a lot of Seahawks fans, 49ers and Raiders, I believe it was. I mean, 3 of the 4 makes sense, and there was a decent amount of Cowboy fans. America's team, Steelers, one of the best franchise in football, and then obviously West Coast teams. But it's pretty cool. I actually liked the NFL in Hawaii. Got to watch a lot of games. I watched the Steelers Thursday night game against the Titans in Hawaii, which is crazy. It's an 8:25 game in Pittsburgh, but in Hawaii it was 3:25. Usually it's 6 hours different, but when I went, it was already after daylight savings change. In Hawaii, they don't recognize it, which I don't know why anyone recognizes it. So it was a 3:25 start. So that day, went to the beach, chilled, swam, did our thing on the beach, went straight to a bar, started throwing back some beers, watched the Steelers at 3:25. It was awesome because I'm on vacation, didn't have work. So 3:25, got the drink, ate dinner, all that stuff, and then still got to go out that night, out in the town and stuff and experience some nightlife action. But it was awesome. And then Sundays, I mean, it sucks waking up early, but I believe, if I remember correctly from the trip, the first game was at like 8 a.m., and the night game is at like 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, it was awesome. So you can, have fun, drink a little bit on Sunday, watch some games, and then, still have the rest of your afternoon and night to do whatever, and you're ready for work the next day. So that was pretty cool. I like the NFL in Hawaii. Got the sweet TJ Watt jersey. And the Steelers been doing well. I was actually last weekend in Pittsburgh for the Steelers game against the Packers. And AB, every time I watch him play, it is phenomenal. He is a difference maker, game breaker, the best receiver in the NFL at the moment. I would say at this point he's the I can't know if I say it. I think he's the best Steelers receiver of all time, and he's climbing the ranks as one of the best receivers ever. I mean, he's still early in his career; he's got a long way to go, but statistically, I think he's not far behind Jerry Rice. I looked that up before; can't remember off the top of my head. But AB is doing things that no one else in the league can do, other than Julio Jones. Julio Jones is still an absolute freak. It's, in my opinion, there's 3 receivers in the NFL are the elite, the elite of the elite. It's AB, Odell Beckham Jr., and Julio Jones. Well, obviously, Beckham's out. Odell's out for the year. He got hurt. But AB is doing stuff that, like I said, no one else is doing but Julio Jones. Making catches, the big-time catches, the clutch catches. You saw Sunday Night Football, prime time, big game. It wasn't a big game as far as the Packers' record, Aaron Rodgers not playing, but it was a close game, nail-biter, a game you want to win. I mean, it's the NFL. Any win's a good win in the NFL. Even if it's by 1 point, it's the Cleveland Browns. You win, you win. It's the NFL. There's a lot of teams like the Giants right now that would like some more wins under their belt, or like the Cleveland Browns who haven't had any wins on the season. So anytime you can get a win in the NFL, it's a good win in my opinion. So AB balled out, 10 catches, 160-some yards, 2 touchdowns, made that sideline unbelievable toe drag, big game, big moment. It wasn't a big game, a big moment catch, clutch catch. Help get the Steelers, that victory Sunday night. But I like where the Steelers are at, 9-2. They play this weekend against the Bengals at Cincinnati. Pretty sure they'll get it done. Not worried about it. Hopefully the Steelers don't overlook them like they have done in the past with other teams and other games. But they take care of business this weekend. Put them at 10-2, and then we start getting ready for that Patriots game. Because the Patriots game at Heinz Field, I don't know if it's in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that game is going to decide who is the number 1 seed in the AFC and probably who's going to go to the Super Bowl. I think whoever wins the regular season game is then going to get the home game in the playoff and is also going to win the game in the playoffs. So I like the Steelers' chances a lot. They win the regular season game at home. And then Tom Brady's got to come to Heinz Field in January. I like those odds. I'll tell you what I don't like is the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger have to go back to Foxborough back-to-back years in January. Because last year didn't end well for them. Didn't end well. Never want to play the Patriots in Foxborough in January. That's the bottom line. So Steelers got to take care of business the next couple weeks. Take care of the Patriots at home in the regular season. It's going to help in the playoffs. But I just want to highlight quickly some games that stuck out to me in the NFL for the week. I already mentioned Cowboys, Redskins. I'm going to take the Redskins -2 at the Cowboys. I'm going to take the Saints at home -4.5 against the Panthers. Both are 8-3. That's the most interesting. That's the NFC South. That and the NFC West. Those are 2 most interesting divisions right now in football to me. Because the Seahawks and Rams, it's going to come down to the very end who's going to win that division. And the Panthers and the Saints are tied at the top of the NFC South. And the Atlanta Falcons coming back to life in 3rd place, but at 7-4. So if they take care of business this weekend, which the Falcons will, I can't remember who they played, but I thought that was a pretty favorable matchup for the Falcons. They win. That puts them at 8-4. The loser of this game goes to 8-4. The winner goes to 9-3. That's a 1 game. That's 1 game right there. So that division is wide open. But whoever wins this is going to be in the driver's seat, being atop of the division with only a few weeks left. So I think the Saints are going to beat the Panthers, and I think the division is going to come down to the Saints or Falcons. We'll see how it pans out. And then talking about the NFC West, big game for the Seahawks. They're at home versus the Eagles. They're +6 at home. I can't tell you the last time I saw the Seahawks as a plus an underdog at home. Pretty sure it's the night game too. Which I thought they had banned that for a while, letting Seattle get night games. I'm gonna check that real quick. But I like Seattle. I'm a big fan of Russell Wilson. I think they're gonna get it done. Eagles. A lot of people were talking and predicting maybe a Pennsylvania Super Bowl against the Steelers and the Eagles, which I can't remember what year it was. Maybe 2005. It was back when Donovan McNabb. No, it wouldn't have been 2005. Maybe 2007, somewhere back then. Yeah, it might have been 2007. They were talking about a Steelers-Eagles Super Bowl, essentially Big Ben versus Donovan McNabb, but that never panned out, never happened. But maybe this is the year. Maybe it's going to be Big Ben versus Carson Wentz, which would be a lot of fun. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I don't know why I'm being slow right now. Oh, there we go. There's the NFL. Looking at my ESPN app. Even though I hate ESPN, I do love this app. I will say that. Oh, no, actually, I lied earlier. The Falcons are playing the Vikings, which the Vikings are 9-2. So that game's at home. Atlanta's -3. I'm going to take them -3 at home, but that's not as a favorable as a matchup as I thought it was. But I'm still going to take the Falcons at home. But yeah, this is an 8:30 game at Seattle. I'm taking the Seahawks. I think that's a no-brainer. I swear to God, the NFL, I'm pretty sure it was probably said they don't give Seattle night games because of how favorable that matchup is for them at home. So I'm taking the Seahawks +6 at home against the Eagles. I think they get it done. You gotta love those home dogs. But I don't know. I'm really excited for the end of the NFL season. It's been fun. I haven't done a podcast in a couple weeks. It's good to get back on here, have some fun, talk some sports. But I don't know. I just still bugging me, this whole Eli Manning situation. I've never been a big fan, but I really feel for the dude at the moment. But is what it is. That's football. It's rough life. It's what I forget the cliche. It's like you die a hero, you live long enough to be a villain. Some superhero movie, quote. But like, I guess in the NFL, it's you retire as a hero, or you play long enough to be washed up and essentially kicked out the door. So it looks like Eli Manning is getting kicked out the door, which is sad because Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger are still playing pretty good football, and all three of them in the same draft class. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think this is Eli Manning. I don't think he's done quarterback in the NFL, but he might be done quarterback in the New York Giants. All right, guys, that's it for today. Check us out, Southbound Sports. Check us out, southboundsports.com. Also, Twitter handle, SBound Sports. The guys have the big show every Tuesday. They've been, every week they've been killing it on there. So check them out. Check out Spaces Laces on YouTube. I think we're on Stitcher and on Apple now. So check us out there. My Twitter handle is Jeffrey_T_Meyer. Hit me up there. Hit me up on Southbound Sports. Hey, we got a voicemail too, guys. Hit us up on that. It's 1-412-330-1512. You got any comments, criticisms, want to talk it on the show, want to get on the Southbound Sports Show or on my podcast, Spaces Laces, hit us up. Would love to do something like that. But this is Jeff Meyer on Spaces or Laces. Over and out.